What up? Well, I got you at a red light here. I just thought of this as I saw something going on, a quote from Gary Vaynerchuk talking about don't sell the unsellable. And what he's referring to is, don't attempt to try to convert anybody or try to, you know, try to sell anybody your stuff. If somebody's not interested, don't try to sell them, because the number one asset, that there is merely is time. And really, since time is the asset that actually matters, when you spend time doing things like trying to sell somebody who's not interested, or they're just not in a mode of belief, and I'm taking this from my own, business experience of marketing, where on the digital side of things, we still have to try to educate people and get them to understand and still buy into digital when they, might have a business model that follows, maybe older philosophies or, older tactics. And so, the fact that we do have to educate, there is a difference between spending time educating and creating value for them versus selling them. And I think that the biggest thing is when you spend your time trying to sell somebody who's they're not gonna convert anyway, you really do waste a lot of time. And I think that there's massive value in not doing so. And so, so my philosophy is, instead of wasting your time, and this is where, part of our services actually come into play really, really well with both of my agencies, is that instead of trying to sell everybody and be that person who's convincing, right? Because that's the part that you can't do. You can't convince. So instead of convincing, put them into a process, an automated process that delivers them value, that helps them understand more of what you're offering and why there's value behind it. And then the conversion process will become natural, where they're seeing the value, they're understanding the value, you're sending it to them and receive, and you're not doing it in a sales manner, right? You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. They don't understand, that's the reason they're not buying. If you look at any reason that somebody doesn't buy from you, it's because you haven't proven the value of why it's the most beneficial thing for them. So if you actually just gave them the value on the front end, right? Like, then you wouldn't have to sell so hard. It would actually it would work so much better on it, on your side. And so what we do is we put systems in place where we can send content, we can send trainings, we can send, webinars, and all of this positive value that's really, really, for them, and doesn't have any sort of sales agenda to it whatsoever. Then when we actually do a follow-up and we actually circle back around, and then we're in sales mode and we're actually saying, hey, listen, like, you're understanding this, so we see that you're opening these emails, we know that you're, watching these videos, are you ready to move forward? Is this something that, would be a good fit for your business? And then you can actually implement that. So just a great thought. It came up really quick. I saw that there was huge value in it, so I wanted to share that.